From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Heyo.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brew, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Especially this week, we are coming off of an amazing night of bingo. Not only are we coming off of an amazing night of bingo, but next week on the 11th, Thursday, you can find us at Mayday yet again. We're running it back. It's another night of bingo with Pucks Out. Come on out. Have a great time. We know you made friends last time. There was a dance-off. It was awesome. Come on out, and hey, we're going to do it all again. So, you know, there's going to be prizes. The grand prize yet to be decided, I think.
Yet to be determined.
It's going to be dope. Yet to be determined. Definitely not Miami tickets, though. Despite
it is not
what
Miami tickets.
Tries to say.
Yeah. Or St. Louis tickets, to be fair. St. Louis tickets
yes.
are spoken
for. So, come on out. The 11th, that is next week. We're hosting bingo yet again. But don't forget to check Mayday out, not just on Thursdays with us, but on Tuesdays for Singo with Ozzy. Today we've got a bunch of stuff. We're talking the Winter Classic. We're talking the power rankings. We've got college football up the wazoo to talk about. And the champs are here. We are discussing I'm not going to say great year. 2023 was certainly a year that happened.
A year
we were
in
talking
sports.
about all the champions. Yeah, we're talking about the year in sports. And we'll let you all make the decision if it was great or not. Then we obviously got games of the week, joke of the week, and what are we binging? And as always, what's snapping our sticks? So how are you this week, bud?
I am doing good, my man. Had a good, nice long break from work, and then went back this week, but it wasn't too bad. We're hosting bingo this coming up week, brother. We had a blast at the Music City Bowl, as we'll be notified by our fit checks. But man, just good New Year. Got a couple championships under the belt. It's always nice to, walk away as a champion. So, so I like that. But also it's a nice, I saw this video the other day, and it was, Thanos walking out and like after an end game when he's like, and he's just like exhausted, and it's like
farming.
Yeah, exactly. Like after like everybody this morning, like just like in a daze, plopping down, like not knowing what to do. Like what do I do with my 6 months of your life is just spent just jam packing, getting ready for this, and then it's just gone. But got a dynasty league like us, I'm sure it'll be cranked back up as soon as the first playoff game happened. People will be jazzed up. So I'm looking forward to a little break though to get, I gotta get focused on hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah. I'm enjoying my little break off. I didn't win any championships this year. But I was a runner up. I believe in 2 leagues,
and it was against me, buddy. It was against me. We got the 2023 ring already in. Still waiting on the 2022, but
yeah. But yeah, so the future in the dynasty league that we run, the future is bright for your boy. I've been struggling a little bit, but I've got I've got some future stuff coming up that I'm excited for with the picks. Whether or not I'm going to flip that for more picks, it is yet to be decided. Yeah. But I'm happy with where I currently am. Let's jump into the
fit check. We got a fit check.
Fit check. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, you can't miss that dope hat, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to the Music City Bowl. We got some new hats because we always have to. Your boy got himself a Terps hat.
Love the Terps hat,
It was
bro.
especially nice because the Terps came in and they dominated.
They looked good, boy. The score doesn't really do Maryland justice in my mind. The score ended up being 31-13. that was a dominant performance from top to bottom, dude. Your boys looked good out there, even without their QB. So hey, hats off to you, man. I've been, it's fun to go to a Music City Bowl and see your team win. Hey, hats off to you. I got Auburn hat, so I went with the classic, or not the classic, I guess. I guess it is a bowl classic. The Auburn, Maryland, Music City Bowl hat. So,
yeah,
but if I was buying two hats, I'm going to tell you this right now, it would have been that Terps hat, no question.
Yeah,
that was the most solid one they had. So,
everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
All right, so the 2024 Winter Classic. It was, I don't even know if it was a good or bad game. I didn't watch it.
It was the only thing I really even saw about it. I mean, obviously there was lots of football going on, so it's really, we're football folk. And so I did see Seattle walking out and getting fish thrown at them. I didn't look further into it. If we wanted
by their own fans.
Not. Like I said, I didn't look into it further, so I'm not really sure. But I couldn't. I wish I could tell you. I
That's wild.
Saw it, was watching, and I was like, oh, I need to look that up later, and then I didn't do that. So, but the Seattle Kraken take it home 3-0. 47,000 in attendance at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. You had said something to me before that I didn't see, that it was the lowest watched Winter Classic ever, or in how long?
Yeah. I think ever.
Oh my goodness, that's not good. I mean, yeah, I guess I can see. I mean, it's not two teams that I think would appreciate the outdoor, the event that it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep. Yeah, right here. It was the least watched edition on record, maxing out at 1.1 million.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it was like, I don't know,
down 38% since last year's Winter Classic.
And and it was on January 1st. Like, I should have watched it. I just didn't think about it. Like I was sitting around doing, just hanging out watching a whole bunch of nothing. I really should have flipped it on and watched it. It felt like maybe it was like under-marketed this year.
It was 100% undermarketed. That's for damn sure.
Because I mean, I remember I see Winter Classic outside of just hockey stuff too. I feel like I've seen that multiple years in a row, and then it just.
Well, I can tell you exactly what's causing it, and it's because after I saw more about it on Twitter and social media after the fact of people criticizing the marketing. It's because ESPN wasn't marketing it.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because it didn't feel like it was marketed.
And not just that, but they didn't even put it on ESPN or anything. It was only on TNT and True TV. So
that would be a contract thing. That would be a contract thing. ESPN doesn't.
Well, then that's what I'm saying is that's a bad contract then.
Well, that was probably went into the TV contract. The Winter Classic contract has probably been sold pre-ESPN. That's just my guess. That. But I have no idea. It doesn't. That is irrelevant.
Last year's was on ESPN.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea. That is irrelevant to the fact that hey, hockey's a big part of your arena now. ESPN.
You spend a lot of money.
You want people to watch hockey, no matter where it is, because then they come back to watch hockey on you. It's like when you're watching NFL football, and they tell you, hey, a game's finishing up over somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll let you know because I don't care. Like, you'll watch my football game too. So it was a little sad. I'm kind of.
I almost wonder if Mickey Mouse has some sort of vendetta against the sport of hockey, and the only reason ESPN bought at the NHL, the right NHL, was to sabotage it.
100%. Like, I feel like if we go back far enough, it's probably one of those like Illuminati type things with Walt Disney and hockey that like he put a bunch of fail safes into all of his businesses to any chance that the businesses get to F hockey a little bit. Just to, like not enough for like everybody to make it obvious. Like, it's got to be a conspiracy theory. But I'm with you,
Yeah.
man. I think that we should do some digging, dude. Imagine if that's our conspiracy theory, is that
Yeah,
Walt
I'm
Disney
trying to figure out
hated
how
hockey.
somehow Emilio Estevez works into this conspiracy. I'm not sure how yet, but he's involved.
He's involved on the good side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he's a sleeper. He's a
hockey
he's
so
the inside
lovable. Right. They were hoping that the Mighty Ducks would flop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they like make like another strike against hockey. You know, people are starting to hate it. And then it actually ended up being awesome. And so, like, there's nothing. Disney loves money more than it hates hockey. So, like, they're obligated to make the money when they can make it. But if there's a shot to make money and hate hockey, then they're going to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll circle back.
We'll do some digging.
We'll circle back. 2024 is going to be an interesting year for the Disney Corporation. Look out, buddy. We're on to you guys.
All right, let's discuss a little bit about the current power rankings in the NHL. Whoa, was not expecting to see
wild
this one
power
up top.
rankings. Yes, I had to do a double take. I had to do a double take. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you, Bobby. The Jets are sitting atop the power rankings. They are the biggest movers, with moving 5 spots up. The biggest movers downward is the Golden Knights, moving down 4 spots.
Yeah.
A very interesting top 4, though, Bob, because we got the Stars coming in at 2. And the Canucks at 3, and then the Rangers at 4. Probably the least interesting of the bunch, but the Stars moved up 5 spots as well. Rangers, like I said, at 4. Vegas down to 5. The Kings at 6.
Flyers in the
Very
top 10.
interesting. Avalanche 7. Bruins 8. Flyers 9. Leafs 10. Islanders 11. Panthers 12. Wild 13. Predators 14. Oilers 15. Lightning 16, Devils, Hurricanes, Coyotes, Capitals, Blues, Canadiens, Penguins, Flames, Red Wings, Kraken, Sabres, Senators, Blue Jackets, and also the Blackhawks, Ducks, and Sharks. So,
I mean, the bottom half looks right.
Bottom half feels like I was reading more correctly. I am a little surprised about Detroit, but not massively surprised to the point where that was a team that I have, I've just been calling my shot, and maybe they, I mean, they're still 18 and 16, so it's not like they're out of it. This is a power rankings, not necessarily a where they are now. I guess that's technically what it is where they are now, but not where they are now in the rankings wise. Canucks are looking really good, man. The Stars,
they
are making a little push up. Jake Oettinger's got to get healthy. That's been killing me fantasy wise. I got a lot of shares of him. Central Division's wide open for the Jets. They are looking really good, but very I'm with you, man. I'm very surprised. We don't normally do a lot of power rankings talk, but I felt like, oh wow, we definitely need to talk about this because the Jets are on the come up, no doubt. I wonder when the last time. This is why we need an ESPN stats guy. I wonder when the last time the Jets were atop the power rankings. That seems like if you have the information available, it seems like an easy thing to find out. But like with our level of stat, I don't know that we easily can find that. But I'm going to send you on that little mission there, Bob. Was there any other, let's say anybody from 15 down that you think has a chance to make it into the top 10 within the next month or so, by the end of the season, we can say?
Yes. I think Lightning and the Devils. I'm going to say Lightning and Devils. And I think that's about it.
I think the Hurricanes can. I think that.
Sorry, I did not see the Hurricanes right there. There, yeah, I think.
Yeah,
those
I
three.
think the Hurricanes can.
I'm gonna leave the Oilers out only because they are 15, so it's like they have.
Yeah,
the top
they're
15.
right there. They have that real shot. Yeah, the Oilers definitely could definitely push up. They had a really rough start to the season, and they seem to kind of be pushing forward. So I agree. Let's go sit below 15. Yeah, Lightning, Devils, and Hurricane. We're all right there on the cusp of it. So, yeah, I agree. Anybody in the top 10 that will fall outside that top 15, do you think?
I'm going to say Flyers.
Like that pick. I am going to go with the Canucks. I don't think they keep it up down the stretch. I think they end the season outside of the top 15.
Now you're talking power rankings, right? Or
power rankings. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Not where they may make the playoffs or whatever. I just think the last
I'm gonna say the
power
Jets,
rankings.
I'm gonna say the Jets fall out of the top 10 for maybe the top 15 for sure. The top 10 at the end of the season in the power rankings. I think this is a flash in the pan. I don't think they have the longevity to maintain where they are right now.
Don't hate that pick at all, bud. Take us outside, bud.
Yeah. All right, let's move to outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
There is one last college football game of the season coming up in a couple days, but we had a crap ton over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and it was some of them were great football, some of them not so much. I was talking to one of my buddies at work yesterday, and I said, as much shit as I gave the selection committee, it's hard to argue when those were 2 good games.
Those were
fantastic
football games. I don't think that it was any question that it was the better team. I don't ever feel like that either of us made that argument. I feel like we both thought Georgia and Alabama were better football teams than Florida State. I don't think that was ever in question. It's hard to tell when there were lots of sit outs, and again, they played Georgia, so it's hard to fault them because Georgia was the best team in the country. They still are. I think they could go out and I think they could beat all 3 of the teams that were in there. And but yes, I mean, those were fantastic football games. Overtime, Bama losing, that's always nice. And I don't give a flip about Michigan. I really could care less. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't like Alabama. To quote Charles Barkley, if Alabama was playing Afghanistan, I would be an Afghanistan fan. Yeah. No question.
Now, one thing I will say is I hate Alabama, but saying that Georgia would beat all 4 of those teams.
Yes.
Easy
money.
Not a couple weeks prior.
No question.
Alabama beat Georgia.
So what?
Alabama beat Georgia.
Absolutely. In the SEC championship, Nick Saban knows Kirby Smart. It's different, bro. I don't care what you say. It is completely different for those 2 teams in my mind. They had won 23 in a row. That pressure starts to mount, dude. When every time you win, it's a record. So I get what you're saying. And so fair enough. I feel like that's a fair argument. I'm not going to stake my life on it, but I don't think there's no question in my mind.
Now I agree with you though that if they played again, I think Georgia would win because I do think Georgia's the better team.
Yeah. However, I hear what you're saying.
There are going to be people out there who say,
I don't care. I don't care about those people. They went in and they blasted Florida State 63. They put 63 points. They were on live. They were on Instagram lives on the sideline, bro. They were eating they were literally eating a plate of fried chicken on the sideline, dude. You're telling me that any of these teams would eat.
To be fair, all but one of Florida State's starters were also on Instagram Live and eating fried chicken just on their couches.
100%.
For the entire game.
100%. That's what I'm saying. But I think even if those starters were out there, I think that Florida State fans would have been in for a really
It would have been
great
more
game.
competitive.
100. Oh yeah. I mean, we're in
It wouldn't have been 63-3.
No.
It would have been a tight game.
But it
and
would
honestly,
have
I think it would have
been
been
35-21. We can agree to that it would have been a closer, tighter game, but Georgia would have been in control the whole time.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. I can respect your opinion, Bobby. I'm trying this new thing where I respect you this year as a person.
Well, I agreed with you, so I assumed you would respect
That's
my opinion.
that you're making this easy on me, Bobby. I really appreciate you helping me
We're
with my
easing you in.
resolution. Shut up, Bobby. All right. See, I'm already out, dude. We're already it's 6:07 p.m. on the 4th of January, and you've made me. This is the first time we've seen each other, and you've made me break my resolution. So appreciate it. This is why everybody dislikes you, Bob. I hate to tell you. This. People have been talking to me about it.
Not because I make them break their resolutions, just only because I make you break yours.
Mine. Yes. Yeah. The people really care about me, Bob. So, I mean, people really care about my well-being. So
yeah, you should really stop hinging like big time resolutions on me. Like, I'm going to be a better person if Bobby allows me to.
Right, exactly. So I think you're seeing the pattern here, Bob. My motto is New Year, same me. I ain't trying to change, boy.
Yeah.
I'd have changed last year if I wanted to. You know?
Last year you told Steph, "Hey, I was gonna stop gambling, but Bobby."
I was gonna stop gambling, but I love it, so I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. My resolution is to not resolve to stop gambling. I can do that crazy, boy.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the national championship game. I am so excited for this game. We've got Michigan, Washington. Sometimes it gets boring seeing the same damn team in the national championship. It is great to see some new blood in there. I say new blood. Michigan is a blue chip school. Washington was there in 91. I don't know. Did Washington win it in 91 or did they just go in 91?
Michigan used to be a blue chip school. I would say that they have a little bit of proving to do. Okay. Since Desmond Howard was like 26 years ago. All right. Like not, but yeah, no, I think Michigan goes out there and puts in some work. I don't think there's I will not be don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying Washington's a bad team. I will not be surprised if Washington's offense goes out there and does what they need to do. I think that Michigan's defense is stellar. Is absolutely stellar. I'm interested to see what happens, man. I'm with you.
Do you think that I'm just saying it would be very Washington if history repeats itself and we get a split champion. Because last time they were there, they split the championship with Miami.
Oh, meaning they're going to call a tie or Alabama's going to claim it?
It's
Alabama's going to claim the title, right? Alabama's going to be like, we beat Georgia.
Does.
We beat Georgia, who beat Florida State 63-3. 63 points is a lot of points.
Yeah,
that's a split title, dude. In my mind, that's a split title if we've ever had one. Yeah, I think it's Michigan, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think that we're going to feel like Michigan's in control the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think scoreboard wise, it's going to be a close game.
I agree,
but
with
I think
that.
the eye test will be. You're gonna watch that game and be like, Michigan is the better.
Yeah, I think Michigan's just gonna grind it out and play tough nosed football and run a lot of clock and be in control of the game. But like you're saying, I do think that we'll have a closer score than the game indicates if you're watching it.
Yeah. Now,
I hope it's a high flying affair, personally.
What I will say is that after watching the last game, I think that Penix might be the best quarterback in football, in college football right now. That man was throwing passes that blew his accuracy and his arm strength is out of this world.
Yeah, he looked good, and he kind
of. I feel like will be a better pro quarterback than Caleb Williams.
Maybe.
Now, will I draft him in fantasy? I don't know.
He's a little older. I mean, he's 24 already.
That's my biggest concern 25. Is that he's had.
That doesn't mean he's not going to be a good quarterback, but I mean, pedigree wise, you think you gotta. It's hard to make that pick of that guy that's a little older sometimes. Yeah. So hey, I don't disagree with you.
Maybe we've had it wrong all along. Maybe we do need age. Look at Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is looking like the greatest quarterback to ever live.
I've never had it wrong. I've never had it wrong. I feel that a lot of quarterbacks are able to come into their own because they sat behind a great quarterback. Like, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers if he goes into Green Bay and plays immediately. I just don't. I think that he sat behind Brett Favre for 2 or 3 years and learned what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. He always had the tools to be the NFL quarterback. That's not what makes an NFL quarterback. Me and you, if we were as smart as some, and like as knew the game as much. I mean, early Tom Brady was not a physical specimen that you were like he was like a guy that you would like be like, this is just a guy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and so just knowing the game, it's why one of the most athletic physical specimens we've ever seen, Vince Young, flamed out really quickly because running really fast can only get you so far as a quarterback in the NFL. So I don't disagree with you at all. I think Penix has a lot of skill.
Yeah.
And he showed something in that game against Texas that he hasn't really shown all year in a big way, and that's throwing on the run. Throwing the deep ball on the run and rolling out.
And I mean, to be fair, it's not like what I'm saying is a super hot take. He was a Heisman
He was a Heisman finalist, the second place guy, controversial loser, to the Heisman.
So it's not like everyone's like, oh, who's this guy that he's just all of a sudden, No,
I know what you're saying, though. I mean, this is a very deep class because Michael Penix is talked about as the third or fourth quarterback in off the boards. So that's not a crazy not hot take. I like it. I think it's bold.
I wouldn't be mad with Washington taking him, but I would also be, I don't know. I would be happy, but also upset because it'd be
it'll be sad to see Penix's career end before it starts. So I would hate it. I mean, it's if you like the guy, Bob, then why are you trying to curse this man, dude? Like, let him play football. Just let him play, boy. Just let him play.
All right, let's move into our main topic of the show. We've got the 2023 champions. We're going to go through all of the champions. You put this list together, so I'll give you the honors of going through it.
Yeah, I'm just going to fly through it. We can make a few notables there. When going through it, it's funny. You go back through the year and you're like, oh yeah, that's who won this. College football national champion, Georgia Bulldogs. Speaking of, right, Bob? Kansas City Chiefs were the Super Bowl winners. Women's college basketball was the LSU Tigers, Angel Reese and the gang. Men's college basketball, an unlikely winner in the UConn Huskies. The Denver Nuggets get their first for the NBA. Vegas Golden Knights get their first. Although it's not as cool saying the Vegas Golden Knights got their first Stanley Cup. You've been a team for 7 years, my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't even hit double digits. You got a cup. So good for you, I guess. WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces. MLB, another first, the Texas Rangers. Double check this for me, Bob. I believe the Columbus Crew have won before. I don't think it was their first, but they won the MLS championship. Champions League, Man City got the long coveted Champions League, winning the Champions League. They've been coveting that trophy for a while. And then the League Cup, of course, Messi and Inter Miami taking down the boys in gold in Nashville and Nashville SC. And taking home the League Cup. And that's the main America. Some honorable mentions that I didn't throw on there that I will toss out. We did have 3 World Cups, cup events this year. Cricket, Australia.
I'm sorry. That was Columbus's third MLS.
Third MLS Cup. I did think they had one before. Cricket World Cup, Australia. Rugby World Cup, South Africa. And the Women's Soccer World Cup, Spain. I do believe that Spain was a first. I want to say South Africa's was a first, but I could be wrong on that as well. Any other champions you would like to highlight this year, Bob?
Yeah, hold on. I'm pulling it up right now because I remember I was looking at it earlier.
Simone Biles had a really, really good year in gymnastics, of course. You know who Simone Biles' husband is, Bob?
He's a Vikings player, right?
He is actually a Packers player, Jonathan Owens. Yeah. You've been seeing those videos go around of her saying, "You're not going to know. I'm going to be Jonathan Owens' wife." Like, no, you're not, Simone Biles. He will always be your husband. That's like Tom Hanks is always Rita's husband, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will say, okay, so this is the Sydney Kings won the NBL championship.
Well,
they beat the New Zealand Breakers.
Okay, nice. Going worldwide with it.
Yeah, that was their second in a row.
Bobby, tell me who won. Tell me who won the Chinese Basketball League in 2023. I need to know. Was it the Shezwong Dragons? Because they are my boys, dude. They play tight. They play my boys the Dragons. They play tight D over there. They play real tight D for me. I don't know what the league's called, Bob, unfortunately, but
the CBA.
Yep, that sounds about
CBA,
right.
That brings up a lot. And if it's at their official website's asiabasket.com. They're being very odd.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to Google stuff about China, Bobby, and like this generally doesn't bode well. Like we definitely have a couple Trojan horses.
Okay, the current champions is the Lion Flying Leopards.
The Leopards always be
that's
messing
20,
with the Hunters, dude.
Yeah, 22-23 champion was the Flying Leopards.
Yeah, the Flying Leopards. They always be messing with the Hunters.
That is a dope mascot, and I wish more teams would take after that. Like, and not just have throw an adjective or something or a verb before their mascot.
What about the Shandong High Speed Kieran, dude? Oh, yeah, you got a lame team name. Yeah, but if we throw like super fast in front of it, that would be sick, right? Like, hey, what about the the Sichuan Blue Whales, dude? We don't do whales in the American sporting system enough. I mean, whales are sick. But like, it doesn't feel like a good team name, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, whales are awesome, but it doesn't feel like a good team name.
Yeah, and the whalers don't count because they're hunting whales.
They are, right. They are. Anything where a human is murdering something, we really traditionally like to get that on a helmet. That's just the way that we generally roll. You know what needs to be actually a mascot more? And like it should be the killer whales is what it should. That you should be the so-and-so killer whales. But I think that is like frowned upon or whatever. So like whatever though, the orcas are really underrepresented in the world of like the friggin' dolphins.
I think the Canucks whale that they use for their logo is a orca.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, then they should be the orcas, dude. You shouldn't try to mask it. Orcas are not Canadians, dude. They're not Canucks. I don't care what you say. Orca, those waters are they're probably too cold, dude. They probably migrate. They maybe migrate past you, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably they're not that far north, and they are orca.
They are most abundant in colder waters like Antarctica, Norway,
so
Alaska,
colder
and Canada.
Waters. That is interesting.
I was gonna say I knew that orcas definitely liked cold water. I knew that for sure.
It's yeah. I mean, it was I had a 50-50 shot there, Bob. Cold water or warm water, and I took a shot, and I didn't. I missed.
Well, it could have been. It could have been temperate
but
water.
But the thing
and then
is, Bob, I'm just some jerk that talks about sports, dude. I'm not a marine biologist. Okay, the sea was angry, my friends.
All right, let's move into our games of the week.
games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
All right, so we got our games of the week. A quick record update. I'm sitting at 14-8. Bond is sitting at 9-13, and we have made the decision as a group, mainly for our own sanity.
Yes.
We're going to cease the betting. It has become too much to keep up with. We are too busy with our day jobs. So yeah, we're calling it a scratch on the betting.
We're calling you the winner, dude. You dominated me. I initiated the quit here. I appreciate the love, but you get the W here. It's like that COVID year when they canceled sports and like the fantasy leagues, just whoever was in first got the trophies. I got 2 trophies that year, but I don't count them, right? I mean, they don't count.
Yeah.
Those are not real.
I would say they count to an extent.
Yeah,
I'd say they're half. So
yes,
if we get another COVID year
asterisks.
and you win, then it counts.
Dude, yes, an asterisk year for sure.
Yeah. I forget what buttons it is to highlight. I don't know why I can't remember what button was the highlight.
I just clicked the thing up top.
Yeah, I had a. Oh, you know what? Because I bolded. I don't highlight it.
Yeah, I was gonna say then Control B.
Yeah. Yeah, in my head, I was like, I knew it was a hot. It's
a
I've had a
hotkey.
long day.
I thought you were saying you set up a hotkey, which would have made sense for the highlighting, But like then I was like, oh yeah, it's bolding. Well, I was like, dude, you didn't set up that hotkey. That's just a hotkey. It's like, yeah, fucking went in. I fucking set up the hotkey.
Yeah. All right, so I'll get us started on Friday the 5th at 6 p.m. I've got Chicago going into New Jersey. And I highlighted the wrong thing. I was testing out the highlight button. I'm taking New Jersey to beat Chicago.
All right. I'm actually going to switch mine. I didn't realize New Jersey was going to be on a back-to-back there. So I'm going to switch mine on day 1. But day 2, my day 1 is the Jets playing the Ducks, 1-5 at 9 p.m. Obviously, as we saw, I'm going to go with the number 1 power ranked team in the nation right now. I guess I can't say that, right? Because they're literally not in our nation. In the continent.
On the continent.
The north side of the continent. 2/3 of NAFTA.
All right, so let's see. My second game on Saturday the 6th, I've got New York going over to Montreal. And by New York, I mean I've got the Rangers going over to Montreal. I'm going to take the Rangers, beating the Habs in this rivalry game.
I like it. This is what I was talking about switching, Bobby. Day 2, I had the Canucks playing the Devils on the 6th at 6 p.m. I think the Canucks are going to take them on the second part of that back-to-back. So I'm going to go with the Canucks here.
All right. Let's see. Our last game for Sunday, they're at the same time.
Because I picked the same one. Yeah, because I picked the same game as you. On accident. This was not on purpose, as much as I could have easily tried to make it seem that way. I'll pick a new one. You got it. This is you. No, this is you. You're good.
Right. I've got Los Angeles heading across the country to Washington. I'm taking the Kings over the Capitals.
So did I. So since you are going to take the Kings, I am happy to just acquiesce and battle you straight up for that. I'm going to take the Caps.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's like with the Caps, you never know.
Yes,
Ovi did
right.
Break his drought. He got himself a goal after 14 games, so maybe that was the catalyst.
That's what it needed
to get back in gear.
Yeah, absolutely. This was one of those games that it was a pick'em for me, and I like the Kings better. But traveling cross country can always be difficult, and so I'm more than okay. The Caps are not looking so poor that I need to switch up the games. Let's say that I'm more than comfortable taking the Caps since I picked this game second.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up the 3 for the week. Let's head into Joke of the Week.
The Weird. Corey Perry. Yeah, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
All right, so it is the start of a new year. We are going back, and we kind of went through some of the stories that we talked about throughout the last year, and we are going to talk about the one that we think was the best, the worst, best for us.
It's hard to
the
quantify.
worst,
Very
Yeah,
funny. It was definitely a good nostalgic article. It's literally right in the middle of the year from like June.
yeah, June.
Yeah, so it's perfect.
Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg agreed to hold a cage fight. That if you had asked me, I thought that would have happened 3 years.
Yes.
I cannot believe that happened 6 months ago.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, you got to remember, dude, the Elon Musk saga was like last year. It was like a good 5-6 months of our life. Like, we were like kind of held
And it's
hostage
still
by
happening.
him. Well, it's still happening, but he's definitely like lower keyed his nonsense, or either that, or people are just, it's so dumb.
People
People
are
are just
for
over
sure.
it. You know, like they're not even like looking at it
so
anymore, which is I'm okay with.
Even like this morning, as of recording, the morning of the recording, he picked a fight with Green Day, which is just, I mean,
It's interesting
it's just
choice.
insane.
It's definitely one that like he's not gonna win the battle of the words probably,
yeah.
but he will lose his cool and try to kick them off Twitter for sure, 100%.
Well-
if they're even there, if they're probably not even on.
They're not. No, they were one of the people that when he bought it, they said, "Hey, we're leaving Twitter," and then
Well,
actually,
that makes
left.
Bobby, you've answered the question of why he's in a fight with Green Day, because this man.
Well, why he's in a fight with Green Day? Do you know? Have you seen the quote unquote controversy from Green Day that from New Year's Eve?
No,
So
I'm not up on
they
my
were
Green Day
at a
news.
New Year.
If it's not
So
Dookie,
they were singing for New
I'm
Year's Eve.
not. I don't
and-
know it.
Well, they were singing American Idiot, and in the original version, which was a very political song,
Very.
just even the name,
They got a lot of trouble for it, and people started
Yes.
boycotting Green Day because of the music video of like,
yeah.
So yes.
Oh yeah, my dad wouldn't let me watch it when he first saw it.
yeah.
Then he came around. He came around in September. And,
Yeah.
But
When September ended. Boom! That's high level right there, dude.
yeah. But then, so pretty much they, instead of Redneck Agenda, which was talking about Bush, they replaced that with MAGA Agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
A
Green Day.
very
They're
easy
they're a
switch.
yeah,
Not
and
even
they're
that
also they've always been known as a
not
progressive
even-
band.
Not even
Yeah.
that controversial of things to say.
And to be fair, I feel like people getting mad at them for it has to fall under double jeopardy. We're literally this has happened before.
Oh no, they definitely did this so they could just get it stirred up again. Let's find out
Yeah.
what Green Day has waiting in the wings for us, and then we'll know why they
Yeah.
just reignited the whole thing.
So
They made sure somebody from the campaign was there in the audience videotaping it and sent it straight to Donald Trump, dude. And he got riled about it.
So they were talking. So of course, Fox News and Tucker Carlson was talking about how musicians should stay out of politics. Blah blah blah. And I'm pretty sure they then said we bring in Kid Rock to give us his opinion on this.
Right. Right. Well,
But no,
all I want to
so-
know, Bobby, there's only one thing I want to know is what does Ja think about all this? Okay. What does Ja Rule think? Okay. Because that's the only opinion that I'm worried about. Who cares what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this?
So of course Zuckerberg came out and said that they're proud that he said literally I think he just copied a tweet from when he criticized Rage Against the Machine. He's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess Green Day is raging for the machine now. It's like, all right, man, so you don't have any other material.
That's
don't
it.
have you're not paying someone to come up with tweets for you. Like you have to at
please,
this
like, hire a guy, dude. Hire a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hire like two guys. Like, one guy to write the tweet, and then like a guy to like look at it. Like, you can hire some nutbag guy, kind of like you, and then you hire like a regular American person that like gets what you're trying to do. Like, hey man, this tweet's not for me. But yeah, you're gonna land with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
One of my favorite things about this original story, though, is that for years, Mark Zuckerberg was seen universally as a quote unquote villain. You know,
Yeah.
nobody But you know how crazy bad you have to be at PR to immediately make Mark Zuckerberg the good guy.
The good guy. And also throughout the years, can you ever imagine somebody being in a large scale beef with Mark Zuckerberg and then you being like, yeah, also Mark Zuckerberg would demolish that guy. Cause like that's pretty much the sentiment. Like that's why it didn't happen. Remember, didn't he say his mom wouldn't let him fight or whatever? Like there's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like there's like a whole thing.
I think we
like,
talked about it 2 weeks later.
But like that's one of those things that you could say, big homie, I was talking on Twitter, dog. Like I didn't know I was gonna have to fight a machine, dude. Like he's like a jujitsu guy now and stuff. Like Zuck would have tore him up, dude. Like Zuck would have tore him up. Like Zuck didn't grow up like super uber wealthy. You know, like I'm sure his parents had a little money, went to Harvard and stuff, but like he didn't grow up like uber wealthy. So like he was a nerd that now has a boatload of funds, dude. And so you knew the first thing that a nerd did, he's like, dude, I want to be trained to beat somebody down. Elon, we're not even sure
grew up rich.
that he grew up way rich, but we're not even sure that he is. We're not sure that Mark's a human, but at least he has a good human shape. His shell, his shell is great. Like his shell.
Yeah.
Elon looks like, this is going to be a very specific reference, but if you remember the Clone Wars episode where they're helping that small village, and it turns out that there was like a baby alien inside of this large, like robot thing.
Vaguely.
And it's like a weird shape. It's that.
I was thinking that it was like if you took a shell of a human, filled it with like Jello, but didn't let it freeze all the way.
Okay,
let it cool all the way,
really
and it just kind of.
I think
like it didn't set.
I think the common comparison for him is like he sort of looked like a centaur a bit, like on top. Like his like body was like a weirdly elongated, but that may be Ron DeSantis though that I'm getting that for. I think a lot of people have. I think lately that putting lifts in your shoes generally makes you like centaurian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's kind of like why Trump leans like at such an angle.
Exactly, dude. You got a couple lifts, like, and like Trump is like actually a tall guy already, right? Like he's like 6'1", he's 6'1.5", but he throws some lifts in, bro, so he could be like 6'2.5", but it's like you look like a centaur now, though. Which is, if that's what you're going for, that's sick, dude. That's obviously freaking dope. But it doesn't seem like that's the goal. He has not.
Meanwhile, Bernie's walking around at like 5'9", just with all the confidence.
Just swagger,
he's got his
dude.
Mittens on, just
Bernie
chilling.
walks in with a little BDE, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "I don't need to tell you that I'm dope. I'm dope, bro. I'm just dope."
Yeah. All right. So enough about Elon Musk. I'm sure that we'll have something coming up soon. I'm sure he'll challenge Billy Joe to a fight eventually as well. Another one he would get his ass kicked by. I was like trying to think of like people who Elon could beat in a fight.
Right, like it's like that thing. It's like that viral video from Cam from Modern Family where he's like good buddies with Brock Lesnar. He's like, "I'm so mad right now. I'm gonna beat up the next guy I see," and then like Brock Lesnar will come into frame and he's like, "I'll beat up the next guy I see." Like he's like that. That's why he really tried to amp up the beef with Greta Thunberg, dude. Let's be real. He tried to beef up he tried to rile up the beef. He thinks he can beat
this
Billy
is why we
Joe.
Need
He thinks he can beat Billy Joe. That's why he's cranking up the Green Day hate. He's like, "I can take Billy Joe."
Yeah. The fact that the people who made Celebrity Deathmatch, after all of this stuff, has not decided to come back. The amount
just
of,
one
content they would get.
Show.
Elon Musk versus Greta Thunberg.
Ooh, just busting in, dude.
All right, so let's move into what are you binging? It's a new year. It's the first, well, it's the 4th of the month, but it's the first show of the month and of the year. The wife and I finally started a show that is 11 seasons in. I'm pretty sure it's over now. And I've been hearing about it for years. Finally, we decided to sit down and watch it, and we both love it. Finding a show that we both love is hard.
Nice.
But Shameless is an amazing show. I think we've watched the first episode a little bit of the second episode, then we fell asleep. But
Never
it is
could-
absolutely amazing.
Never could get into it, dude. I tried to watch a few episodes. It seems to me like these children should be taken away. They should be taken away and hopefully given homes and a chance to succeed in life. But
they 100% should be. That's the whole point.
I guess that's my whole premise, my thought process.
Yeah.
But also, I don't really like the main actress. Not a huge I like a select few people in there, and it's not one of those shows that I hate it. It's just I could never get super into it. But hey,
I'm the same way. I feel the same way about Curb Your Enthusiasm. I tried a couple of weeks ago. I tried watching the newer seasons.
I don't like Curb like that. No, I don't watch Curb like that. I watch clips of Curb, which are beautiful.
I'll watch clips. I
don't care to see
one
a
of the
whole
funniest things
episode.
ever. Yeah, the John Hamm clips are fucking hilarious.
Dude, John Hamm,
where John Hamm is becoming Larry David is so funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There are tons. I love the Curb clip. I don't think I've ever sat and watched a full episode of Curb Your
I can only deal with small increments of Larry David.
Right.
Any more than that, it's
I'm
too much.
when it comes to Larry David, I'm like Larry David. Okay. So
what do you got?
All right, man. This is a deep one. I'm actually getting back into the Flavorverse. All right. So me and Stephanie got to talking. We both watched the same trashy TV in the 2000s, which is rare.
For the viewer at home, it is not Flavor Town. I thought it was Flavor Town when you first told me.
It is not. Yeah, no, not watching that Flavorverse. Don't care about that Flavorverse. It is a rare thing. There was just so much. There was so much garbage on TV during the, early 2000s to 2009, 2012-ish. It's a trash bag of just awful reality shows. When people are like, we people watch the Kardashians, it's because of us. Because we made it so, because we all we wanted was this garbage TV, where now we have the internet. I thought me and Stephanie started talking about Flavor Flav and talking about Flavor of Love. And we were like, let's watch it. But we had to go back and watch the origin of Flavor being on VH1. So we went back and watched Real Life 3. Now, I will tell you, Bobby, we skipped Strange Love with Bridget Nielsen because we talked about it. We talked about it. In my thought process, the Flavor of Love verse, that was like a blip. That was the Ed Norton Hulk. Okay? It's there. We acknowledge that it's there, and we acknowledge that the storyline is necessary, but we're not going to watch it again, right? I'm not going back to watch it because it's not my boy, not my boy Ruffalo, and so we've gone through Flavor of Love 1, Flavor of Love 2. We're about midway through I Love New York. So then we're going to go I Love New York 2, Flavor of Love 3, and then Real Chance of Love. And then I think we're going to go back through some Rock of Loves if we can find them online. So that's what I'm calling the Flavorverse, Bob. There is no Guy Fieri involved, dude. No Flavor Town. That's what, if I said I was going to Flavor Town, then you'd have known. But no, I'm going back through the Flavorverse, which I personally, I love the name Flavorverse. I think it's one of the
amazing.
better world-built worlds.
Oh, yeah. I am definitely surprised that Guy has not gotten into a heated lawsuit with him yet about that. But maybe they might team up. Maybe that's the only... with Flavor Flav, with the Flavorverse. Because is that what it's officially called? The music?
It's not officially called that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was officially called the Flavorverse.
No, it's officially called that by me. Obviously, you got to remember, this was in a time period where the universe really wasn't I didn't know if they packaged it on Paramount Plus. No, they did not. I am having. Anytime the show ends, I have to go and find a new location where I can watch these shows. And so the worst part is, I Love New York is on Pluto, which I love. I like Pluto TV. Shout out to the free TV. And I have no problem watching the ads on something free. I understand you have to make money, but what I don't like is if I need to get back in an episode, it's very difficult. And then if I want to go to the right
Oh,
spot of the
yeah.
episode, which is fine. It then makes you watch way too long of ads, like 5-6 minutes of ads. And then if you're in
Jesus.
the wrong spot, even if you go back to a spot where it's not supposed to be ads, it makes you do it again. And so it's very frustrating.
rough.
So like I'm really putting in a lot of work in the Flavorverse, dude. I feel like
Yeah.
my dedication is there.
Oh yeah. You should get like a celebratory clock when you're done.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was in high
yeah.
school, you may know I was the most school spirit, but every, any game that we went to or pep rally, I actually had a clock that was set always to game time. Anytime anybody asks what time is, it's always game time. So that, it's been done and I've done it. And honestly, you don't get a better feeling on this earth, Bobby, than walking around with a Flavor Flav clock. I'm going to be real. It was a brief blip in my life where you feel like the coolest dude in the room.
Oh, there was a solid several months of a year where everyone was just yelling Flavor Flav.
Yeah, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
hey.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, like, he's such an idiot, but he's a good guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can root for him. And
He's a himbo.
Say what?
He's a himbo. It's a dumb but like sweet guy.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about him, maybe, but more like he's just like an idiot. Not he's like stupid. I don't think he's like a dumb, but I could think he's just like eccentric. He's eccentric, right? And so like it's dumb TV. I mean, he is a little dumb. Don't get me wrong. It's dumb TV, but he's an endearing person because you can tell that he is a genuinely nice guy. He's not like. So
he just wants everyone to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, William Drayton. That's his real name. He introduced people to William Drayton. And he wore a suit and he and he was talking normal and stuff. And so he's like, I hate being William Drayton. I like being Flavor Flav. And so he went back and got his gold teeth and the change was for like an afternoon.
All right, let's move into what's snapping their sticks.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right, it's a new year. That means we've got, of course, more things to complain about. And of course, as always,
one of us has got to do it.
Mine has to do with some scheduling.
Yeah, one of us has got to do it. I think we do this one yearly. I mean, it's necessary.
The biggest college football game of the year, and it's on a Monday night. I get it.
It's a useless.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. It's a useless Week 18 NFL Week 2 is the thing. It's not even like, dude, there are so many players not sitting. Like, you can compete against Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. Or have it Friday night. Saturday. Like, have it on it's a college game. Have it on Saturday night. It's Saturdays are for college football.
You're blowing my mind here, Bobby. You're blowing my mind here, buddy. It sounds like you're the kind of guy that they would have actively in that meme panel when somebody gives a good idea, they threw him out the window. Hey guys, maybe we make this accessible for people that work hard all year and not just the people that can spend $9,000 to come. Get out of here. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah. So really good idea. I agree with you. And mine is right in the same vein as yours. Mine were the game times on Monday during the day that started at 3:00 in the afternoon. And then the second one, it was 4:00 in the afternoon. The second one starts at 7:45 at night. You've already like cut the knees off of half of the country because it's 2:00 on the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's 3:00 Mountain Time. So it's not like you gave a shit about them for, people being off work and stuff. So why not just make it earlier anyway? And then It's not 8:45 for people on the East Coast to watch a game and have to stay
even later
up.
because of overtime. It started late.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Football games are long. They're long. It's just a kick in the teeth, dude. Yeah, like it's like, well, what time could they possibly have to wake up for work? Like 11 o'clock.
I do have an honor. Yeah, I do have an honorary snaps my stick. And listen, the outcome of this made me happy, but the absolute insanity of that last play call by Alabama.
Oh,
that was such a that was a not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch level bad.
Yeah, it was
like that will forever be remembered as. I literally said, "Oh, he's got a ISO down at the bottom. They're gonna go outside. They're gonna pitch toss. But no, a QB out first off, not even a tush push, just out of the shotgun, running up the middle from the quarterback.
Draw.
Like,
not even a good
play
draw.
call.
Right. It wasn't even like a good draw. Like nobody thought you were passing it. Which is the key to the draw. Like, right, you take a couple drop step, and then boom, you hit the hole. Yeah, it just seems like. I mean, he played poorly. I feel like they were worried about him even being able to hit the receiver anyway. So I think that was like their team late down that stretch.
He got hurt earlier in the game.
Yeah,
but
down that stretch, he did not look like a very competent passer, and so maybe that has something to do with it. But I feel like there's lots of other ways to make that happen. Like just do a designed run to the outside with 3 blockers right in front. Like, what I'm going to do. Stop.
Well, I will say that I think I was confident that they weren't going to get that because for years, Alabama had their bread and butter have been, we're going to have the biggest and strongest offensive lineman and a running back who is the Hercules of college football.
Yeah.
The biggest, baddest man in college football. They don't have that. Michigan's defense all game had their D-line.
Not
so
sure that
it
would have mattered
I was like,
if they had a better offensive line.
In my head, I was like, they had to pass.
Yeah, if they had a better offensive line or a better running back, I'm not sure it would have made much of a difference, dude. That Michigan defensive line, it felt like you could have put anybody out there and the outcome was the same that night. Like they looked legit. I mean, I'm just surprised that Bama put up 20 points. Let's be real with it.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot closer game than it deserved to be,
Oh,
and it kind of.
I think that those 20 points comes from the fact that Nick Saban, love him or hate him, he's a genius of a coach, and he can coach anybody.
Absolutely.
And that's those 20 points are because he was able to coach those young men.
Yeah,
the way he did.
100% agreed. Michigan was the much better football team.
Yeah. But all right, guys, that wraps it up for this week. Don't forget, on the 11th of this month, next week, come join us for Bingo. For Brandon, I'm Bobby. This has been Pucks Out Podcast. We'll see you all again next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.